Hey everybody, it's Heidi Hope and it's FAQ Friday. This week is week 4 leading up to the big launch of our online workshops for photographers. And this week I was feeling a little bit stumped on exactly what you would want to hear. So while we are still delivering this FAQ Friday straight to your inboxes this week, I also took some questions from just my Facebook page, not even the business page, just the personal page. I said, what do you want to hear about this week? And so I've got a few great questions to work with this week, and I have lots more details about our online workshops, and you're going to be able to find all of this information on www.photographerrising.com. So let's get started. Okay, so Joanne asks, unless I missed it, I'm wondering about your profile pic. You had said it was taken for a project. Yes, it was taken for a project, and that project is the release of these online workshops. I am so excited about these. It's all I've been talking about for weeks. We've been putting all the finishing touches on it, on the schedule, and all the details and everything that it's going to include. And all of your questions for the past few weeks have really helped fuel exactly what we're going to be doing in the workshop, and I'll be continuing to develop it right up until the day that we start it, because I want it to fit perfectly with exactly what you want and need from a learning experience. I know there are so many out there, and I feel so lucky to have everybody who chooses to come and learn with us. So Joanne, yes, those pictures of me with the balloons is all part of these online workshops, the Photographer Rising online workshops, and you'll see more of those details soon. Lynette asks, I am dying to hear about your mini sessions, how they went. And I had also talked, if you've been following along with us every week, I've talked about the awesome mini session product that I'm going to be giving all of our newsletter readers for free. So this is really a guide to how we do mini sessions. We used to do them in the beginning of the business, then I totally went away from doing them. And actually, if I was teaching you a year ago, I was like, no more mini sessions. But we have found a way that really works with our studio. It allows us to keep in touch with clients who might not be able to do a big session with us on a yearly basis, especially clients who have older children. It's not a major milestone, but they want updated family photos, or they really want holiday card portraits. It allows us to be able to service all of those clients still in our schedule without cheapening our brand and still making it worthwhile for our studio. So those are two really important points, because the reason we got away from doing mini sessions in the beginning was because we felt that it was cheapening the Heidi Hope Photography brand, but we found a way to really balance by giving clients still a really unique experience without kind of hurting our bottom line and our overall brand. So Lynette, the mini session guide is going to be in 2 weeks, and you guys are all going to receive it via a download link via the newsletter. So if you haven't signed up for the Heidi Hope Learning newsletter for photographers, you really need to do that. Just go on over to the blog, HeidiHope.com/learning, and there are sign up boxes everywhere. So enter your name in there and you'll be able to get all these goodies delivered straight to your inbox. Okay, Jessica asks, what is your post-production editing look like in terms of timeline, and what programs are you using? So we have basically a 2-week turnaround time from the time a session is photographed to when we show clients their final gallery in their ordering appointment. So in those 2 weeks, after 1 week, we bring everything up, we cull it, and we choose favorites for a sneak preview that goes online. And then 1 week later, the final gallery is available for them to come in for their viewing appointment. So it's a 2-week turnaround time, and we use Adobe Camera Raw for initial processing in the same way that you would use Lightroom if you use Lightroom. And then we use Photoshop for additional editing, skin softening, composites, and more like advanced editing will all be done in Photoshop. So those are the two that we use. I have been back and forth. We've tried Lightroom a few times. We have it on all of our computers. And I feel like I need to devote a whole month to learning to use it as well as I use the tools that I'm currently using. And I feel like everything we need to do, we can do through Camera Raw and Photoshop. And so I just haven't gone into Lightroom. Another problem is Lightroom libraries are like computer specific, and because we are a full staff and we share images across computers depending on who's working on what element of the shoot, it's really tough with the Lightroom library system to be able to save a lot of the information, where Adobe Camera Raw saves all that information in an XMP file, and then we just send that along. It's attached to the image. So if I do an edit to an image and I send it off to Caroline, let's say, she can open up that image and she has the same information as long as I sent her the raw with the XMP file attached. So that's what we do for that. That's why we are not Lightroom converts yet. Okay, Mary asks, I'm looking to create my own backdrops and floors. Do you have any good companies to recommend for purchasing the canvases? The canvas that I use is, I think it's called Sargent, is the name of the brand. It's just stuff I used to use in art school and when I was an art teacher. So it's not like an amazing grade or anything like that. And we get the huge rolls, and they're Amazon Prime. So we get them in 2 days. So if you're just on Amazon.com, you'll see the canvas rolls. Just look for a roll of primed canvas and any size. And that's what we use. And we can usually get 2 backdrops out of 1 canvas. Okay, Alex asks, how do you network and collaborate with fellow businesses smartly? I love this question, and I talk about this. We're spending a whole day talking about marketing in the online workshop, which I'm excited for. But my number one key piece of advice for FAQ Friday listeners would be, when you are marketing with other businesses, first, it is so important to build a relationship. You need to build a relationship first. So before you even start talking business, you need to have a relationship with them. That's how it's been, how it's worked for me thus far. Because when you build a relationship, there's an element of trust. There's an element of wanting to help each other succeed. And it's really a genuine interest in their business and the success of their business. When you approach another business owner because you want to work together, realize that all business owners, yourself included, myself included, we're all really busy. Think of everything that we're juggling. And if it's not making money in our business, oftentimes we don't have time for it. We don't have a lot of time to waste. And a lot of people, and especially with successful businesses, if you're approaching somebody who is successful, who's established, who has a big social media presence, okay, those people get asked all the time to partner up. And they're not going to be able to say yes to everybody. So you need to make your offer to them really unique. You need it to benefit them. And that's what you need to go in talking about. You don't want to go in and be like, can I put my business cards out on the front desk? Okay, that doesn't benefit them at all. You need to approach them and think of a really creative, unique idea that you could do that would also benefit that business. And it's going to be unique to the type of business that you're approaching. And hopefully it's a win-win so that it helps benefit your business as well. But ultimately, when you're approaching somebody, I think you need to make it all about them and what you can do for them. And then hopefully the feeling is mutual. And then that also is a way to establish a relationship and build trust with somebody. And when that works well and you deliver upon your promises, then I think that's like the good foundation. And then they in turn are going to want to help you and do things for you as well. So that has always been how I've approached business to business relationships. I also keep them very limited because A, I don't have a lot of time, but B, I think that somebody who endorses everybody, nobody really takes their word for anything. But when you have choice business relationships that you really nurture and you truly believe in their business and you truly want it to succeed, that customers sense that, they realize that, they know when it's coming from a place of truth and your belief in them. So there's my advice for that. Okay. Then we had a few other questions. Melanie asks, how do you Photoshop a Kardashian? Danielle asks, how do you increase client numbers and sales? Melissa asks, how do you bring on other photographers? And Carla asks, how do you shoot in full sun and keep your skies from blowing out? These are all things that I am saving for our online workshop because I'm so excited to kind of be dishing really on how we do everything we do in our workshops. So as far as in-person workshops too, if you are interested in coming to our studio, actually shooting with us, having the models, building your portfolio, we still have very few openings left. We are running them in January, February, and March of 2015, and there are like a handful of seats left for that. And I'm not sure about future in-person workshops at this point. So I would say to take a look at those if you think you want to come learn at the studio. And then our online workshop for photographers is a 1-week online workshop. It's going to be broadcast live from the studio. There are going to be 4 live shoots. We're going to talk about pricing. We're going to talk about business plans. We're going to talk about marketing. And anyone who has taken a workshop with us or has purchased the business plan can receive a discount off of the tuition. The tuition for the online workshop is going to be $1,800, so it's the same price as our in-person workshops, but it's actually 5 days of content, so it's a lot more business heavy, like way more business heavy. You are watching 4 shoots, but obviously because there's not 12 photographers rotating in to also take pictures, that frees up a lot of my time to be able to give you more information. So content-wise, this is even more information. It is really the blueprint of our business, how we have been able to build a successful studio model in a really saturated industry, in a really tough economy, in a tough market. And it can be done because we've been doing it successfully for 5 years. It's kind of beyond what we even imagined. And it really is. It's obviously a lot of hard work, but the formula for doing it is relatively simple, and I am so passionate about sharing that with other people because I think there are enough photography businesses out there that are failing, and I'm tired of seeing it. I want everyone to know that you can succeed. It is possible, and anyone who says that it can't be done just doesn't know how to do it. So keep with me for the next couple of weeks. I'm excited to share some information in the next 2 weeks, and also to get our site up live so you can start to get a preview of the information that is going to be in the online workshops. That is www.photographerrising.com. So I hope that you had fun with me this FAQ Friday. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye, everybody.